All right, can everybody hear me?
Yes, sir.
All right, welcome everybody to our virtual AMT Open House. Today is May 7th, 2020. My name is Fernando Rover. I am the Workforce Development Liaison for Bexar County. Welcome to everybody. We have company reps joining as well as our attendees. Thank you all for coming. A couple of housekeeping items. We are recording this to be shared at a later time, so if you do not feel comfortable, you can turn your video and your audio off. Feel free, if you have any questions for any of our speakers, to utilize the chat. You can send questions to them privately and then they'll answer. And again, we'll probably have some time to wrap up at the end for questions. But again, thank you all for being here. And we'll get started with Maurice Salazar, who is our Toyota company rep. Maurice.
Well, good afternoon, everybody, and thank you, Fernando, for facilitating this open house agenda. So as Fernando mentioned, my name is Maurice Salazar. I'm a skilled group leader in the Human Resources and Development Department at Toyota Motor Manufacturing, Texas. And my personal safety commitment is to always be aware of my surroundings in order to contribute to our safety culture. And so they're a Texas Fame group. So if you would, Fernando, please click onto the next slide. There we go. So the Texas Fame organization right here in San Antonio is the Texas Federation of Advanced Manufacturing Education. So what the program is, it is an industry-led partnership where we work hand in hand with academia. And the Texas Fame program works with the St. Philip's Southwest Campus academic organization where they offer the college experience to the Texas Fame program. And so what the Texas Fame program is that partnership where company industries, manufacturers partner up with an academic institution, and we come up with the best practice. We come up with the items that our future pipeline and future workforce need to know in order to be successful in an advanced manufacturing career pathway. So we worked hand in hand with the technologies and the professional behaviors and business best practices. So when we look at it, we look at developing the individual holistically. So therefore, the advanced manufacturing program is the advanced manufacturing technician. It's the degree plan that the Southwest Campus puts out for us, and it's an approved associate's degree. So it's a 2-year associate's degree that is encompassed and integrated with 2 years of work experience. So the way the program lays out is individuals that apply for the program and get accepted, they will get a combination of college experience and real world experience in some of the cities and areas best manufacturing companies. So they earn while they learn. That's what we like to call it. So the degree plan is going to give you skills in the disciplines that are most looked for or sought after in the industry world. And we're talking about disciplines like electrical, mechanical, fluid power, programming, and some fabrication, but not just the technology or the curriculum aspect of it, the theory of those types of technologies, but we're going to show you the application aspect of it. So not only are you going to get the real college experience with a college professor and the control labs that come with the college aspect of it, but you'll be able to get to apply those theories and practices that you learned in a classroom in a real world experience where you'll be working in a company's manufacturing floor. So the program will be a full week's work of 3 days at the plant and working in a manufacturing facility, and 2 days at the college going through a full-time college curriculum with specialized instructors working through those technologies that we mentioned earlier. So not just are you going to learn those disciplines, but you're going to learn industry's best practices when it comes to being successful on the workplace. So you're going to learn what we call our manufacturing core exercises, and there's 5 of them, one that coincides with each of the semesters. So it's a 5 straight semester program where you're going to go to school 5 straight semesters. We don't take off the summer. We're going to go spring, we're going to go fall, we're going to go spring, we're going to go summer, we're going to go spring or fall again, and then spring, and then comes graduation. And so with the 5 straight semesters, it comes out to about a 2-year working experience. We'd like to call it a working scholarship. And so with those manufacturing core exercises, each semester, a new core exercise is taught. And then there are some follow-up applications that we apply to them that you'll apply during the workplace and at the college campus. And those manufacturing core exercises are the best practices in safety culture, workplace organization, lean manufacturing, or we call it TPS, problem solving, and what we call machine reliability. It's probability and possibilities and how to get in front of problems before they actually happen. So not only are you going to get business's best practices, but you're also going to get the professional behaviors. We're going to instill in the program communication, teamwork, attendance, diligence, being able to communicate in all aspects of the corporate world, and we're gonna teach you how to present yourself and how to present what you do. So not only is this a educational value and a hands-on real-world value, but it's also those businesses practices that you get real-world experience, and it's just not a one way teaching aspect. We like to call it a triple layered approach to it. This is 3-tiered learning where you get the college lecture, the control lab, and the real-world experience with a real world professional workforce out there to help guide you and have that built-in mentorship as we go through. So how do you apply, and what type of applicants are we looking for? Well, we're looking for individuals that like to hands-on learning, that like to problem solve, that are team players, that like working with the team, and that like to be challenged, because this is a very challenging program. As I mentioned, you're going to be going to school 2 days out of the week, full-time schedule. You're going to be coming to work the other 3 days, and it is 5 straight semesters. So we're looking for those motivated team members that like to be challenged. And as I mentioned, if you have a STEM career background, as far as in some of the schools or programs that you've been in, those are the types of individuals we're looking for, because this is a STEM career. So if you like working with your hands, if you like to problem solve, if you like to take things apart, those are the individuals we're looking for. And this isn't just a male-dominated um, program. Anybody can do this. We don't care what the gender is. We're looking for those motivated students who are interested in a STEM career field. So if this sounds like this type of characteristics, they're there's something that you like, these are the types of students that we're looking for. And so we will move on to the application process. And Fernando, you can take it back over.
Sure. Yes. So part of the application process is, hold on, let me, hold on. So the Texas FAME application process is, so the application process is a 2-part deal. So you apply to the colleges through the Apply Texas application, and then you also apply to Texas FAME program through our Texas FAME website, texasfame.com. So as you see here, the application process is, our application deadline is May 29th. And so our application is, you can access it online. And what we will need from you is a copy of your high school transcript. And if you've taken any college credit anywhere, a college transcript, because what we want to see is, like Maurice said, we want to see like if you have a background in STEM, if you've taken any classes in anything to do with STEM, anything to do with manufacturing, robotics, anything like that. And then also kind of see like what else you've taken in that as well. And then We also would have we would need a 500-word essay describing your interest in the program. Let us know, like, what is it about advanced manufacturing that you want to do? What is it about Texas FAME? Like, why do you want to join? And just and let us know kind of who you are and what your background is and why you think you'd be a good fit for this program, we would need test scores. So we accept SAT, ACT, and TSI scores within the last 5 years. And also, after this presentation, if there's any other follow-up questions about that, you can go onto our website, and then you can also contact me as well at the end of that. So just a brief kind of idea of kind of what the application process is, and we'll continue to touch on it as we continue on through the presentation. All right, next we'll have Donley, who is our program coordinator. Donley, are you there?
Oh, yes. Yes. Okay. Hello, everyone. I'm Donley Wilson. I'm the AMT Program coordinator at St. Philip's College, partnership with Texas FAME. We are the people who will be teaching the students everything that they need to know about becoming an advanced manufacturing technician. Go ahead, next slide. So the AMT program at St. Philip's College is, like Maurice said, it's a 2-year program through 5 semesters. You do get 60 semester credit hours. You go to school for 2 days and you work for 3 days at the company. And it all depends on what company you work for. That'll determine what day that you go to school. It could be a Monday, Wednesday, or it could be a Tuesday, Thursday. You are a full-time student, so you do qualify for financial aid. And we do have, Pell Grants and the financial aid, student loans that you're welcome to take advantage of. But we also have grants and scholarships. We have a program out there. Can't really hear you. I'm so sorry. Let me try again here. How about now? Are we good now? Can we hear good? Okay.
Yeah, Donley, it just sounded like you need to get closer to the mic. I mean, we could hear you, but it's kind of faint.
I'm so sorry. Well, hopefully everybody caught what I was saying, but pretty much it said what Maurice had said. I just want to stress on the financial aid part, because you're a full-time student, you want to take advantage of those scholarships and grants. There's programs out there, things like Project Quest, and other programs that you can use and take advantage of for this program. And that's what's going to help you become virtually debt-free. Go ahead, next slide. So what you're going to learn. So the things that you're going to learn is you're going to learn AC/DC theory. We're going to teach you about Ohm's law and how it works with series circuits, parallel and series parallel circuits, and the AC and how that works with vectoring, and you'll get into that. You're also going to be working with fluid power, hydraulics and pneumatics, and then you're going to learn some mechanical systems like gears and pumps and compressors and how they work. Go ahead, next slide. So you also, when you get the AC/DC theory, now you're going to start applying that to the future courses that you'll come across, which is AC/DC motor control, electromechanical devices, where you learn about sensors, and you're going to do some more mechanical stuff where you do some basic machining and how to work a lathe in our lathe shop, in our machine shop. Then in the summertime, you'll take your 2 online core classes, come back in the fall, and you're going to work now more advanced into program logic controls of PLCs and how that works. Robotics, you're going to get some fundamentals of robotics in your second year, both fundamentals, and then in your last semester, you'll be more advanced into programming. Go ahead, next one. Next slide. And you'll finish out the spring of your second year learning about circuit installation and how to do wiring and reading schematics to more detailed and interpreting them. And then the big course, the big reason why you're here is to learn about troubleshooting and how that works and the methodology behind that, and given some real world scenarios on how that works in the manufacturing industry. Okay, next slide. So upon completion of the AMT program, these are the benefits that you get from it. You're going to receive an associate's in applied science degree in advanced manufacturing technology. You're going to learn some professional skills that are needed for the workforce, as we mentioned in as Maurice said about the manufacturing core exercises. Also, you'll learn some professional skills like how to give presentations and work together as a team. So those are the things that are really beneficial for this program. We're not traditional students like you see in the college world. We are specialized in personal and professional development through the course. And then you will possibly be debt-free by the time you get finished. Next slide. That's it.
That's it.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Donley. All right, at this time, we will hear now from our company reps. So our first company rep we have is Jim Lucier, who works with HEB. Jim, are you online?
Yeah, can you hear me? Hello.
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, yeah, I'm here. Hi, good morning. I'm Jim Lucier. I'm the technical training manager for HEB, but I'm also the program coordinator for the AMT program. So, so go ahead and next slide. So today I'm going to just talk briefly about HEB. You've already heard quite a bit about the program. I can talk about the program if you have a specific question, but my purpose is to tell you about HEB and why we need this program to help us. So as you can see here, HEB, and you probably know, we're all over the place in southern Texas. We continue to grow, and since we're growing so much, we will continue to add maintenance technicians. Matter of fact, we're adding a few recently because we just started up a new warehouse, and we're starting up some other things to help with e-commerce. So we're adding technicians for that. So a lot of things are happening for HEB, and so that's why we're bringing in between 8 and 9 students this year. When I first started, maybe 6 years ago, almost 7, our annual sales were around 21 billion, and 6 short years later, we're at 28 billion. So that shows you the growth that we have here. Next slide. So what we focus on is MWT. We are a grocery company, but we do manufacturing. What we manufacture is products that go into the store under our own name. So we are able to sell that product at a reduced price because we produce it ourselves. And so we're part of what we call MWT, which stands for Manufacturing, Warehousing, and Transportation. In the manufacturing department, we have 13 plants across 3 different cities, and the majority of them being right here in San Antonio. We also take care of the warehouses, and we take care of the buildings for transportation. Next slide. So you can see here our manufacturing in San Antonio. We got the bakery, meat plant, dairy, ice cream, snacks. We're going to be putting AMTs in all of those plants. We're also going to be adding between 2 and 3 AMTs to our industrial services department, which are the ones that take care of the HVAC units, the ammonia refrigeration, the buildings, the dock doors, things like that to keep the commerce moving. Next slide. So here's an overview snapshot of all of our locations here in San Antonio. This is not including what we call super regional, which is a 1 million square foot facility we just put in action this last couple of months. But all of the red is buildings that we own, as we being HEB, and we're right along I-35. You can see there's I-35 in Rittiman. That's where the majority of our locations are. Next slide. And you can see here, most of our plants are pretty close together. In this one building, we have the bakery, ice cream, and milk plant are basically right next to each other, and the meat plant is a little bit further down. We also have a snacks plant, which is down the street, maybe another half a mile. Okay, next slide. These are the stores, the locations that we deliver to. San Antonio being our most productive city, but you know, Houston, we're basically going in with 1 to 2 to 3 new stores every year. Same with the Austin area. We're adding 3 new stores in the Lubbock area. And so that's the furthest north that we've gone so far. And we continue to add along the way with smaller towns between here and Dallas. Next slide. So here's a quick little video of inside of one of our plants. So we'll let you watch that real quick.
Hold on 1 second. It's weird. We can send out the video at a later time.
Or try to right click it, Fern.
Okay. Well, it's basically a video of our milk plant, and it shows you that we have several lines, or what you will see in the video is our milk lines. So hopefully you can see that video later. So we'll move on from there. So, you know, I can tell maybe you're asking yourself, why HEB? Why is that a place that you want to work? Well, you know, we continue to be touted as one of the best groceries in the world, but definitely in the US, you know, being that we're only in Texas, that's a pretty high honor. That top one across the board, across the page there, where you see we were named a top US grocery, that's in the United States. And you think that we're only in Texas and to get that kind of notoriety is pretty good. So we continue to be one of the best places to work, one of the best cultures, as well as one of the best companies for women. And we continue to strive to do that. You know, we didn't lay anybody off during this this pandemic, and we continue to hire people. And you know, we're doing everything we can to keep our partners safe. And so that's one of the things that you can count on if you were part of HEB. Next. We also have here is a career path. So we would all come in and start off as an AMT intern. You would do 2 years, and at the end of those 2 years, you know, there's no guarantees, but you'd be offered a position in one of our plants or at IFS. And there's one of 4 different paths you can possibly take. And this is just for the maintenance field. But in the maintenance field, you know, you can move up, you know, partner 1, partner 2, maintenance partner 3, and then specialist, which is kind of like a foreman. And then if you are really good at controls, you can go that path. In addition, at IFS, we have stationary systems, which is basically ammonia refrigeration. So we have a path for those partners, as well as our automations, where we continue to grow the automations department because we continue to innovate and become an even more e-commerce type environment that we have to be faster and more agile than our competition. So those are the different pathways. We also had AMTs that, you know, they can put in for leadership course and, you know, develop through HEB as a leader, or continue on to college and become an engineer and maybe go up that path. So there's numerous ways that you can grow and develop when you're in this company, and all the companies for that matter. Next page. So here's some some pictures of AMTs in action. We like to do a lot of training here. We like to challenge the AMTs. We want to make sure that they understand the content. So we put as much information in front of them and much, you know, different puzzles that we can to help develop them. Continue, next page. Here's a few more pictures. We just getting ready to graduate 4 more AMTs, and all 4 of those AMTs are going to start full-time positions next week. So they've already got their full-time jobs and their assignments, and they're getting ready to go and be level 1 technicians. So we graduated our first crew last year, and they're all doing well in the plants they're in still. I think that's it. Yep. Thank you.
Thank you, Jim. Maurice, you ready to talk about Toyota?
Yes, I am. So, as Fernando mentioned, and in the overview, you saw some of the companies that participate in this program. And I won't introduce myself. I introduced myself earlier. So, if we move on to the next slide, we can talk a little bit about the history, the AMT history. So, Toyota started this program back in 2013. That was the first year that the program came to Texas. And so I recruited our first cohort of 20 individuals, 2013, and we looked high and low for individuals for our first cohort. And as you can see, we go through the years, and we've started cohorts of 20 since then. And this year in 2020, we are also looking for 20 more students to start our 8th cohort. So as you can see, we do have quite a history with the Advanced Manufacturing Technician Program, Texas FAME now. And so it is the largest pipeline into our skilled workforce at Toyota. And so just one thing about Toyota, if there's somebody out there listening who doesn't realize that Toyota, the world's largest automobile manufacturer, is right here in South Central Texas. And these career pathways and these careers positions are here for South Texas, South Central Texas people in this area to for the taking. Looking for the right skilled individuals to fill these positions. We make the world's greatest pickup trucks in the Toyota Tacoma and the Toyota Tundra here in our San Antonio plant. On a typical production day, we build over 1,000 vehicles a day, and our production line is broken up into 5 different production departments. We start off with blank sheets of metal that we bring in, and then we press, we stamp out, kind of cookie cut different automobile parts, truck parts from our Tundra and Tacomas, roofs, hoods, fenders, flooring, decking, inners and outers, and we put all of those parts together, which from the press department, they go over into the body weld department, where over 450 robots will actually spot weld those pieces together to make a shell body. And then once those shell bodies are completely welded together, they go over to our paint department, where we have over 125 robots that will paint those vehicles and put a specialized paint process on them, put color on those on those on those shell bodies where they come out painted. We do have a smaller department in our plastics department where we do injection molding, where we manufacture our 5-mile-an-hour bumpers and our instrument panels, our dashboards, as the outside world calls them. We actually do the injection molding in-house, and then they ship over to our last production department is our assembly department, our largest department, where we take that shell body and we put all of the inners and outers of the vehicle that make it go. So tires, engines, fluids, transmissions, seats, windows, carpet, headliners, everything, it gets assembled in assembly, and every 60 seconds we roll a brand new truck off the line. As I mentioned, we're the world's largest automobile manufacturer, and the AMT is the largest pipeline into that skilled workforce. So just a little bit about Toyota. So we broke ground in 2003 here in San Antonio. Well, we rolled off our first Tundra in 2006, November 17th of 2006. And since then, we've made over 2 million vehicles here at the San Antonio facility. We kind of break down our workforce into 3 different levels. Our production level is the build level, and that's the department that actually assembles the vehicle together, and that's our largest workforce. And we have over 2,000 of production team members that actually build the truck together. And the minimum education requirement for that is a high school diploma or equivalent. And then our mid-level career category is our technical support, which is a skilled technician, which is the pipeline for the AMT program. So that's a mid-level. Minimum degree plan is associate's degree. but technical skills are a must. And then, of course, you have your management or professional from your managerial leadership to your engineering, which is our 4-year degree plan. So with this program, once completed and once the program completion, the job opportunity here, the career opportunity here is a mid-level position right out of college with 2 years work experience. So just looking at the screen, you can see our graduation classes. We've graduated 59 AMT students. We've made offers to 47 of those individuals, but we have made offers to everybody who's graduated. But like as Jim mentioned in the HEB, just like all Texas fame, um, in HEB and in Toyota, we can offer you a job. It doesn't mean you have to take it. There's no contract that we sign that you have to come work for us. So once you graduate, you have that work experience, you have that associate's degree. It's up to you to decide what success is. So you can take that position with us, you can continue going on to school, or you could continue to work or go seek employment with another company. There is nothing that says you have to come work for us. But as of right now, it is our largest pipeline into the skilled workforce. And Jim didn't mention it, but these positions are highly sought after. And these are the most difficult positions we have to fill. And so what that means is the supply and demand deems those positions at a high pay scale. And so you will make a very, very good living with this type of career background. And as Jim mentioned, the sky's the limit as it comes to corporations like we have in the Texas Fame program. There's some fantastic companies, HEB, Caterpillar, of course, Toyotetsu and Toyota, and some of our other partners, CH Gunther, that technicians can really move up through the ranks and really have a good career. And you'll be able to ask some of the students that we have on the panel later on some of those questions, and they can tell you some of the progressions that they've seen and show you how they've developed into this program. But that's it for Toyota. We've been here in South San Antonio, and we're looking for our next generation of skilled technicians and leaders to come through.
So at this time, speaking of our AMTs, we have 4 AMTs currently on Zoom that we wanted to have them kind of tell you about their experiences, where they came from prior to being in the program, and what they've learned. And you feel free to ask them questions as well. So we have Abraham Suarez, who is a HEB AMT, Wyatt Conover, who's also a HEB AMT, and then we have 2 Toyota AMTs, Vanessa Bentecourt and Elijah Blount. So any one of you guys can go. Just let's hear from Abraham actually.
Hi, my name is Abraham Suarez. I work for HEB. This is my first year in the program. Before this, I was working at a company that laid me off, and HEB gave me the opportunity to continue with the AMT program. It's going good so far. It's good stuff. Wyatt?
I'm Wyatt Conover. I'm at HEB and IFS under Fire Systems and Buildings and Grounds. I came straight out of high school, and this would be my first experience in the mechanical field. And it's going very well. I'm learning a lot.
You there, Vanessa? How about you, Eli?
Hello, I am Eli. This is my second year in Toyota. Before this, before this, I was actually working at Taco Cabana. Um, but in high school, I did have STEM background. I was a team captain of robotics team in my high school, and all what I can say is through these 2 years, I definitely learned a lot of professional skills. I learned and developed so much since the beginning, and all I gotta say is it's just a wonderful program.
Vanessa, are you there? Um,
I don't see her. I don't see her anymore, Fernando. Maybe
okay.
she's disconnected.
Oh, okay. So for the AMTs, why don't you open up more about what advice would you give prospective applicants going into this program? What is one piece of advice? It can be anything in terms of work, it can be in terms of school. What advice would you give incoming students coming into this program?
Just to keep a positive attitude. Like for me, I got accepted into the milk plant with HEB, and the everyday things that we do, you just got to be positive about it. It's all knowledge coming at you. It's all new stuff you're gonna learn. It's great stuff you can use at home, anywhere, in any field, not just these companies. There's all these. This manufacturing field is very broad. You can take it and do what you want with it.
I'd say one thing to be able to do is really take everything that you learn and kind of be able to absorb it. You're going to meet a lot of people. For me, I've worked with maybe 7 or 8 people in the last 3 months, and each person has their own experiences, their own stories, their own ways to do things, and you really need to just be able to take all of it in. Um, one day you may learn how to do a certain piece of one machine, and then the next day you're with someone else and he tells you a better way to do it or a more efficient way to do it. So it's just being able to absorb everything you can, because like Abraham said, you are able to use this in other places. So really be able to take it all in.
My number one advice is to always ask questions. Just always reach out. I mean, that's what we highly encourage, especially and in Toyota, we always encourage you to ask questions because of the industrial world aspects. So, I mean, just always keep in mind, be coachable, and just keeping up a great attitude will get you really far in this program. Just having that positive attitude will get you super far in this program.
I see Vanessa joined back. Vanessa, are you there?
Yes, I'm sorry, it disconnected.
No, you're fine. Vanessa, we're just having our participants hear from you guys. So you talk about your experience at Toyota, talk about what advice you would give incoming students.
And a little bit about your background, Vanessa, just so people can see where you came from.
I was an AMT in high school, AMTA in high school. So I went to college and I was also going to high school. And that is how I found Toyota, and I did an internship there. And then I ended up joining the AMT program. And yeah, it's been great so far. You learn something new every single day. You're always learning. And some advice I would have for you is to stay on top of schoolwork, because it is very, very important, and it will get you through your year. I'm in the paint shop, and sorry, I'm a little nervous, but we do a lot with PLC. You're always learning, and yeah, I don't know. Anybody have any questions that I'd rather answer?
Why did you choose the AMT program? And this is for all 4 of you guys.
Because, well, whenever I had joined the AMTA program during high school, my dad had a background in engineering, and that's what I also wanted to do. So I joined the AMT program at Toyota.
When I first heard about this program, just the program itself, it's good stuff. You're gonna get out debt free. You're gonna get a great trade, a great education out of it. And not only do they help you out within the program, there's other resources that are willing to help you out, especially with tools, work boots, for example, Project Quest. I'm applying for them right now. I'm talking to them, and that's that's another great resource, and that's within the program that's gonna help you out even more than you are already gonna get out of this. So that's why I joined it, because it's it's a great opportunity itself.
I grew up on a farm, south of San Antonio, and so I've always been in the kind of mechanic spotlight with tractors and whatnot. So growing up, I gained a certain work ethic, learned from my parents, and always knew that I liked more hands-on work than anything. I was also in robotics as president of robotics in high school at Lytle. I also did an electric-on race car sponsored by Toyota, and that really kind of made me start to want to go into more mechanical and electrical um, in a career. And so when I found this program, I was dead set on engineering for the longest time, and then I kind of stepped back and weighed all my options, and I found out I really didn't want to do engineering, especially not for how much that degree would cost. And my college counselor brought this up to me and said, "Hey, this sounds like a good fit for you." So I applied, and I went ahead and went for it, and here I am now.
I was always interested in mechanics and the industrial world. I came to an open house such as like this back in 2017, and the biggest thing I took from it is that you earn while you learn. So while you're obtaining these skills and learning new, this a new skill set, you'll also be receiving an amount of income from the from a company that is sponsoring you. And second year in the program, I'm about to graduate soon, and I'm graduating with zero debt. Like that's another thing too that dropped me in. It's just the zero debt part, and I was just thinking like, man, this is definitely it for me right here. I mean, just 2 years to get an associate's degree, and then I'll be able to take off with the experience I have. Like this is just an opportunity that I cannot pass up.
I just want to add to all of that. Just it's not only a degree; you're getting work experience with this program. You're you're getting basically the whole 9 yards out of this. It's work experience, education, a degree. It's like two certificates within this same program, and that's all in 2 years. You're getting a lot out of this program.
Hey, if I could just add, Fernando, just to the panel, what do you think is especially you, Eli, since you've been in for 2 years, and I know Wyatt and Abraham and Vanessa have gone through some of this too in their first year. What do you think the biggest challenges that you personally had to overcome, that was really something that was going to make or break you? I mean, of course, nobody can understand what it's like coming into a program where it's pretty diligent and getting up early and you're with a professional workforce. What are some of the things you had to overcome personally?
So personally, I had to overcome two things. I had to overcome managing my time wisely, for one. I had a terrible sleep schedule before then, and we had to for the program, I had to wake up super early for class and work, and that man, that whooped my tail for a little bit. But of course, I managed to just get to bed on time and just set up alarms and just really just handle my time wisely. When to go to bed and also when to study for school and just knock out assignments when I need to before deadlines. And making sacrifices. When I say making sacrifices, I mean aspects of not hanging out with my friends as much as I did in high school. Because I mean, of course, every weekend, like I'll be going out to the mall with my friends, or we just go to the theaters. But I had to make some sacrifices. Sometimes they would hit me up. I just had to be like, hey, I can't really go out tonight because I had to focus on this. I had to focus on this assignment, or I had to like go to bed at a certain time. I can't really go out right now, and that right there, I realized I had to make sacrifices coming in, and I'm actually glad I did make those sacrifices because now I'm again graduating with an associate's degree and all these skills I have. I mean, it's worth making those sacrifices. And at the end, and I mean at the end of it, like all my friends are gonna come back anyway. But yes, that's definitely the two main things that I had to overcome. Just time management, when to go to bed, when to do assignments, and just making those sacrifices, when to just take the time to actually work on myself and not always go out.
I'd say the hardest thing that I had to go with was confidence in what you do. You come into this program as, I mean, bottom of the food chain. I mean, these guys will eat you up. But if you're able to apply yourself, put yourself in, and actually do what you think you can, and then eventually you start learning, and then you can do what you didn't think you can, it really makes you look much better than you are. These people will respect you if you're able to go in there and say, "Hey, let me try that," versus, "Whoa, wait, I'm a little scared of that. I don't want to do that." And that goes a long way. And I had a big issue with that at the beginning. I was that, I don't want to touch that. I don't want to break it or anything. And once I climbed over that hurdle, it was smooth sailing.
I also agree with Elijah on the time management and school. You have to get in certain study habits, like I had to. You can't just be good at school. You have to actually study and do good in your classes, and some confidence because I am a girl and in a male-dominated environment. But I mean, it's not bad at all. It just motivates you to do better, so you can be better than some of the guys there. But and they also all help you out. Everybody's friendly. It's a great environment.
Those are great responses, guys. But for me, it was creating a balance between work, school, online classes. It's all in one, and you got to create that balance. If not, you're gonna fall behind, and you're gonna lose this great opportunity. You gotta, like Elisha said, you gotta make sacrifices on what you want to do and who you want to put aside to better yourself. And at the end, you're gonna get a great thing out of this.
All right. Thank you. Thank you to the AMTs. That was some very good information and some good comments. Right now, at this time, we can open up the floor for questions for any of our speakers. Are there any questions for in the comment section that I'm not seeing?
Somebody just asked Fernando, where do they get a copy of this recording?
I can, once this meeting ends, and I can send that out.
Cool.
All right. We actually have one more thing. So, Donnelly, are you ready to give your tour?
Yep, you got it. Okay, there you go.
Let's leave a video.
Are we gonna have sound?
We can
Maybe.
if you want.
Maybe.
You want to talk, or do you want?
Well, I'll do both, but you can. So I'm going to give you a tour of the AMT lab. And as we go through here, this will show what all the different areas in the lab that we deal with and practical stuff. We're going to start with the troubleshooting area. Of course, that's at the very end, but that's the beginning of our lab. We have two platforms that we work on. I call it the old school and the new school type platform. This one here is our new school. This is fully automated and the instructors have the ability to insert faults by remote, and then the students have to figure out what that fault is. And then we can do all the troubleshooting down from the basics to error issues all the way down to a PLC malfunction where we have to change maybe a value in our PLC. So we do go through the whole gamut of all the troubleshooting that is necessary for an automated system using this conveyor system. In our AC/DC motor control lab, we have consisted of 5 A-frames where we can get two students on each side, giving us a total of 20 students working in one lab. We go through the basics of AC drives, DC drives, how to wire up circuitry. So now they're learning how to read schematics and understanding the components of a schematic. It's a very interesting thing, a lab. This section right here that you see is for our electromechanical devices, where we do our sensors and put those together in a circuit, and then they test those sensors out according to our lab books. This is one of our students, Mr. Forgot his last name. Maurice, help me out. Anyway, sorry about that. These are our students that have gone through our program.
Victor Pena.
Victor Pena, yes. I'm sorry about that. Thank you. So the next one is our fluid power. We have 5 pneumatic labs, and we have currently two hydraulic labs that we use. These are our pneumatic labs. You can get students on each side. They work in a team. That's one of the biggest things that we do in the lab is we do teamwork. We want people to work together because that's what you're going to be doing in the field is you're going to be working with other people. This is not a thing that you do by yourself. Robotics, our robotics lab is very interesting. We have 4 FANUC robots that we use for our fundamentals and our programming, robot programming. This is the layout of those. All the students get the opportunity to create programs. And here are the 2 Toyota donated Kawasaki's that was donated in the very beginning that Maurice told you about the AMT when it started. Here we have a student that is programming the robot to write her name on a whiteboard. And that is one of the projects that you'll face when you come to the fundamentals of robotics is you're going to have to teach the robot how to write your name. Here we have our installation trainers. These are new, they're only 2 years old. We have 5 of those, and these are so that the students can learn. They take a blank slate and then they have to put a circuit together in different stages, and then their final is to do a complete circuit. So I want to thank you guys for taking a tour in my lab.
All right, thank you, Donley. All right, I'm gonna try to bring up the HEB video one more time, so if you can just give me a few seconds to do that. All right, I was able to pull it up. So, can everybody see?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
we can see it.
Okay.
My name is Brian. I work at the HEB dairy plant in San Antonio. I've been a team leader for HEB for the last 5 years. Typically, a team leader has around 30 partners on their team. We oversee the production of a certain product, for example, milk, and we also ensure that it has a high quality. Some of the things we inspect on a daily basis is our code dates. We also verify our weights are correct going to the stores. One thing that we're required to do from a state perspective is document everything on our legal chart, and we have to inspect it every day to make sure we're at the right temperatures and pressures for our pasteurization systems. At the milk plant, we pasteurize over 20,000 gallons of milk each hour. I take a lot of pride when walking through the stores and looking at all the different products that the HEB dairy plant provides. What I like is the people. HEB has a great culture, has great partners here. We have partners who have worked here for 2 weeks, and we have some partners at the plant that have been here for 40 years. You've learned a lot from working with them, and the people here are great. HEB is a place to stay.
All right, just wanted to make sure you guys were able to have that video there. Are there any questions, comments for anyone that's still on the line from any of our attendees? All right, well, we thank you everybody for joining and for coming on. Thank you to the company reps. Thank you to Donley. Thank you to the AMTs. Yes, I will be sending out this recording once this completes it, and I hope you guys enjoyed it, and hope you have a good rest of your day.
Thank you, Fernando.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank y'all so much.
Thank you everyone for participating in today's open house. You guys have a great day.
You too, sir.